So welcome to part 14, the final part. If you made it this far, fair play to you, because I honestly didn't think or expect anybody would. But as you can see, I've finished off the skull there. Just did a little bit more sculpting on the skull, and it's far from anatomically correct or anything, but it's it's a stylized skull, so fits in with the design, I suppose. And I just added this little wax. I didn't bother doing a video on this because it was so simple to create. So I'll just solo that out, and I'll just show you. I'll go through the undo steps here, and then we'll go back because I appended it. So I just basically started with a cylinder primitive, and turned it into a polymesh 3D, clipped it, and you can just see there, dynameshed it, and just create a mask on it there, inverted the mask, pulled it in, and then just use some trim dynamic. This only took about 5 minutes or something to make this. Trim dynamic, inflate, snake hook brush, and move it around. Just give it some variation, a bit more inflate, and then I just cut into it damn standard on the inside, and just moving around, tweaking, and decided then to once I moved the inside back out a little bit, I just I masked the back off, and then I just used clip circle center, clipped that out, and then just went around and smoothed it on the inside and smoothed it on the outside, and then I come over here. Then all I did was moved it into position and scaled it, and I have this alpha here that we're going to be using to create the very last piece. I just used that with the mask as the stroke of the mask, sharpened it, inverted it, dragged it out, and then just went over it with the smooth brush to kind of make it look sort of blobby and like wax, as if that's the stamp or the seal. And that's just more smoothing, and this was the final result. I hadn't got a back face masking on. When I usually, in a tin object, you want to put back face masking on, so smooth it out, but it's on the back here, so but it doesn't matter. And then we just moved it into position, and that is that. Yeah, so that's basically it. And then with the skull, once the skull was in position, I just moved a couple of these verts around here just to kind of follow the curvature of the skull. And now for the last piece, it's just the same eagle. This eagle here, I'm going to use the same, and I'm just going to create an eagle and put it onto that. So there's a couple of different ways to create it, but I'll show you one way of doing it. It's a fairly old method, using difference mesh, morph targets, and a difference mesh. So what we'll do is we're just going to grab a plain 3D and make polymesh 3D, and then we want to, I'm going to actually, before we do that, plain 3D, and come down to initialize, and we'll make it 100 by 100, and now we'll make polymesh 3D, and all we have to do here is Release 3D. All we have to do is store a morph target, and then come into our mask stroke, and then we're just going to select that eagle alpha. So we can drag out our mask and position it how we like. Make it as big as possible there, and sorry, we just obviously want to subdivide our plane. Yeah, 2.5 million should be good. Just with enough resolution to get the details. And size it up there, and now we'll just we can extract it, or we can use the difference mesh, but I think sure, we might as well. I'll just extract it. I was going to use the difference mesh technique, but we'll just extract it instead. So subtool down to extract, and we'll just see what size that's going to give us. Might be too thick. No, that's pretty good. Oops, I have to go through all that again. So just let it do its thing. All default settings on the extract, and accept. And now I'm just going to rename. We'll rename this eagle, and delete this plane. And now we still have our mask on the eagle, so we're just going to leave a mask maybe and just polish it, see what it looks like. No, I think I'll just I'm going to come down the end here to deformation and just give it a bit of polish by groups. Turn off the poly frame and polish by groups again, and that's looking pretty good. What's it at? Just under 1 million, so we can decimate this, or we can leave it as is. I'm just going to actually save this as eagles ETL, and then we can decimate that. Yeah, I can. Might as well decimate it now because I have it saved. So I'll just come down the end here, see plugins, and decimation master, and pre-process current, and let that do its thing. And we can probably take it down lower than 20. Nearly there. Right, so that's done there. Now I'm just coming a bit closer and see what 20 gives us. Down to 188. Even come down again because it's a tiny piece. 200,000. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. It's going to be a really tiny piece. So I'm going to come back to our main tool here, and subtool, and we just append our eagle in, and you can press N to bring up the subtools as well. N is the hotkey. Select the eagle, and he's hidden on the inside there, so we'll just move him out and scale it down to that size, and bring it across. Just scale it down a bit more, and we'll stick him there. Now surface, just slightly off it. Okay, and there's our eagle. So that is pretty much it. That's pretty much everything. You could come in now, and there's a bit of text down here on the magazine. So you know, you could stamp that in there, but you wouldn't have the resolution there at the moment. Obviously it's still like a production type mesh. You could dynamesh it out, and I'm thinking that maybe this is the last video, but I might do another series of kind of videos where I'll dynamesh all these and maybe add some damage and bring them over to Keyshaw and render a couple of passes then and composite it and do a bit of painting over in Photoshop. So that was something I was thinking of doing, so I'll see if I get the time. So that is the end of it now, and hopefully people enjoyed it and learned a bit. The last thing always one more thing, the last thing we can do, don't forget, is if we want to, you could save this out now as it is, which I will do. Plasma bolter, and I'll just save another copy, plasma bolter 2, and then we could this piece here with the creases, and this piece, and even the first piece that we made, if we want to, we can just come down to geometry and crease and proportional width and bevel, and the same for this piece, and I think this piece, and there now you can see all those hard edges are nicely beveled, and we can do it with this one as well. It's a bit too much on that one, proportional width, and there we go, that one was on proportional width. So I think that is, yep, that's the lot. So you can see that bevel at the end adds a nice effect there. It gives it a nice finish. So I hope people learned stuff, and I didn't absolutely bore them to tears. So as I say, I might do another series, with the key shot thing and all the rest of it. So alright, thanks for sticking along and following me on me long journey. Alright, cheers, thanks, good luck.